welcome back to Star Cub Review. As always, I'm your host, Star Cub. That's me. Today, I'm gonna do a simple, easy one. This is a recommendation, as it's gonna be in the TV series section, but it's one that I don't think I've spoken about at all, really. But this one is another one that I grew up with. Obviously, a bit later because it came out. It first started in 1992 and ran all the way up until 2000. But this one is a really, it's still very, very highly underrated. But I feel like the original series really gives it justice. I don't like the new style version of this. The old style is the best, and that is Are You Afraid of the Dark? Everyone has probably heard of it. People from, obviously my era would definitely have heard of it. I mean, it was a widely popular television series for kids on Nickelodeon. Obviously, I didn't have Nickelodeon growing up, but Nickelodeon was in association with some other TV studios in Australia, so we were able to get it through some form of cable or something like that. I can't exactly remember, but if anyone remembers, the original run of Are You Afraid of the Dark was absolutely fantastic. It was perfect. It even had some of the darkest episodes in it. Now, that's not to say every single episode was dark, because some of them were downright goofy and silly, but were fun. And I honestly, genuinely remember all the fun episodes. But also there were some very dark episodes on Are You Afraid of the Dark that really, even to today's standards, using practical effects and everything like that, still holds its own. And we're talking, it originally it got picked up in 1991, but didn't officially air until 1992. But it really did. It really struck a chord with me growing up, especially when I was in middle school. And I'd see it through my cousin's place. If they had cable, I would watch it there. And sometimes through regular channel as well. I think it was screened on Channel 7 or Channel 9. I honestly can't remember. But Are You Afraid of the Dark genuinely was absolutely amazing. And it's a horror anthology TV series, with some of it with lightheartedness, horror in it as well. But it was created by DJ McHale and Ned Candle, and they did a superb job. Everyone did a superb job on that. And it really does, because I'm just going back now and rewatching the whole series, because I never finished the whole series. I remember watching some of it in the 90s, and then obviously I dropped off at some point and had, stopped watching it. But revisiting it now, especially at my age, it just brings back memories. I remember certain episodes, and it's great. Me and my husband are really enjoying watching old TV series and that we grew up with as kids. Like, really grew up with as kids. Like, really appreciate all the old stuff that in our childhoods really does resonate with you. And, a lot of today's stuff just doesn't hold up to all the old stuff. Captain Planet, the original run of Pokemon, the original run of Digimon, Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z, Samurai Fighting Pizza Cats, which is another one which I will talk about later on down the track. That's an obscure one. It's a cartoon, but it's also an anime cartoon, and the tune to it is just something else. That's one that I'm gonna share with you all down the track. But that is another one. Another one is obviously Gargoyles, which, oh my god, Gargoyles. They don't make stuff like they used to. Not anymore, because everyone is so PC these days, and Disney is just so PC. Everything is just, you got to be politically correct now. And the series that, that made our childhoods, especially movies and all of that, some of those stuff can't be made today because of, certain issues, certain things that were said back then that can't be said now, and everyone is just so PC that a lot of legitimate shows that are coming out are great and really do push those boundaries and make me think, wow, I still have faith in TV shows. I really do. But then there are others. Disney is one. Warner Brothers as well. Where they are really ruining their image with movies, TV, and their franchises. And it is sad to see that they go down that route. But genuinely, with Are You Afraid of the Dark, genuinely, it is a legitimate series, very much like Erie, Indiana, that is highly underrated too. Highly underrated. That really bringing it back, rebooting Are You Afraid of the Dark for a new generation. It just didn't strike that much of a chord, unfortunately, with me. I didn't like the new series at all, especially because it was Disneyfied to the point where it was just horrible. The acting was horrible. The people they got were horrible. And it's the exact same thing that they did with, that Disney did with one of my favorite movies growing up as a kid. Penny Marshall made it, and that is Hocus Pocus. I was absolutely riveted when I heard that there was a sequel. 30 years later, we finally see them back on screen, and it's a disappointment because Disneyfied the hell out of it to the point where it felt like High School Musical crossed with Glee. And it was just horrible, absolutely horrible. And the reboot of Are You Afraid of the Dark was absolutely horrible. And Disney should be really ashamed of themselves for putting out such an awful reboot where the formula in the original run of the series was something iconic, was something you can try to better, but at the same time try not to replicate everything that made that so great. But you could have made Are You Afraid of the Dark so nostalgic for us, the ones that grew up with it, and really hone in that this is a love letter to the original series. But no, it was a stinker. So yeah, I honestly really recommend anybody, even if you're in your 20s or in your 30s like myself, in your 40s, and you grew up through the 90s into the 2000s and all of that, and have never seen it or seen it but haven't seen it for years and years afterwards, I'd recommend it to anybody that really wants to have those awesome childhood memories going. I remember this, I really, really do, and really appreciate what we had back then to what we have now with certain TV shows, certain kids' TV shows and that, because you certainly don't get them like you used to. Captain Planet, all those sort of cartoons. Widget World Watcher, Captain Planet, like I said, Rugrats. We're never going to see cartoons like that again. And it's a shame because everything is so PC now. Everything is so PC. But know this, is that Are You Afraid of the Dark still holds up years and years later. And it's a delight to see, even though it is so goofy and so... Oh my God, some of the acting in it is so bad. But you know what? that's what made the original series work, because you looked at those kids and you were a kid yourself going, oh my God, I could imagine myself in a TV show like that. Honestly, no joke. Honestly, that's the way my brain worked as a kid. Like, oh my God, I could go and do this adventure or have that adventure or see this monster and experience this, going invisible and stuff like that. That's what I used to do as a kid. These shows really let the imagination fly. And that's what was great about the olden days and those cartoons and stuff. Now, everything is forced down your throat. Things are taken away that make no sense. Cartoons have no real sense of meaning or fun in it anymore, because everything has been taken out of cartoons that made cartoons so great. And you'll get all the stuff like on Netflix, that like Big Mouth and Rick and Morty and all of that really push the boundaries of taste and jokes, and they run with some of the jokes, even though they may be PC and really offensive. But that's what everyone's got to take a back step and realize that it's just a cartoon. It's just an adult cartoon that is trying to make people laugh and just roll with it. You don't have to be so literal and get upset about every goddamn thing that is said. That's the problem with everything today is, look at the situation with Hank Azaria. He voiced Apu for over 30 years, and then was fired because someone got so fucking PC about the fact that, oh, he's a white dude, he's voicing an Indian dude when it should be an Indian dude. It should be a true Indian person voicing. He's a voice actor. That's what voice actors do. And that's what I hate about things that is, the situation with Big Mouth changing voice actors, and, then you had Family Guy doing exactly the same thing, because everyone got to stick up their ass that wasn't the right actress or it wasn't the right actor. And it really sours a lot of what you had growing up was so good to all the crap that's coming out now, where it is awesome, it is so good, but then someone gets PC on your ass and has to change it because she doesn't sound Asian enough or she doesn't sound Korean enough. Voice actors are voice actors. They're paid to do voices. That's their talent. They're not offending anybody. That's their job. They're voice actors. And yet, everyone gets so PC over it. I don't know. I guess, this sort of stuff really, just makes you think, oh, couldn't we just all go back to, our childhoods and relive all of that again and come around to 2023 now and go, oh, there's a lot that's changed, and go for the better. But no, some things are just, you're never going to get that back. And with everything as it is now and everything changing, I don't think we're ever going to get the same level that we have back then. But yeah, sorry to ramble on, everybody. That was a little bit, my brain just went into overdrive there. It kicked in. I get passionate about these sort of things and really do appreciate what I had growing up and what everyone else experienced growing up. Whether you haven't seen it or you haven't seen Are You Afraid of the Dark, or you have, or you had similar life experiences with cartoons and music and all of that. Hey, if you can have those conversations and really think and appreciate what came before and how your childhood played out and it is now and growing up, you really do appreciate shows like this that really just take you back to your childhood and you really want to relive that. And that's exactly what I'm doing. But other than that, everybody, I will leave you with this one. and I will have some more videos up as soon as I can. All right, guys, take it easy, enjoy yourselves, and I'll see you all with the next one. All right, bye.